Hello everybody. I bought a new knife and I actually bought this. It was only 22 euros and I kind of bought it like an experiment. I thought, you know, it's cheap, but let's see what it can do. It's done by Mill-tec, and Mill-tec is actually a brand that falls under the Sturm company, which is German. You know, I thought we'll have a closer look. Let's look at the knife. I cut this in, and so let's take it out of the box. And okay, it comes in a sheath, obviously, and the knife is in plastic. Scandinavian knives, they have that, especially the puku knives, they have this kind of strap for the belt loop. You can also lengthen it with another strap and then make it a neck knife or something. Okay, let's take the knife out. So yeah, it comes in plastic. It looks good. Yeah, let's unwrap it. Give me a second here. Oh, yeah. All right. Let's. Oh. Ooh. All right. So be careful with that. Okay, it feels relatively heavy. It has a beech handle. It has brass protection here in the front, and the pommel is also made of brass. It is the stick tang configuration, so I don't know how this would be inside the handle. How thick it is all the way through, I don't know. I have no idea. The handle, let me feel. Yeah, the wood is comfortable enough, and I feel that right away. As you can see, maybe you can see it like this. The handle is very oval. It's like a teardrop shape. And that sharpy pointy thing here, that is basically the underneath of the handle, underside of the handle. And that makes, for me at least, it gives me a hot spot. So what I would do is I would definitely grind this down to be more rounded. And of course you're stuck with that brass here. So that limits the amount of work you can do on that. So I don't know, but I will probably grind this down. The blade is, yeah, well, straightforward. I think it has a hint of a drop point. A hint of a drop point. I'm not really sure, but it does look like sort of a drop pointy thing. It has a Scandi grind all around, pretty long angle, so I think the edge would be somewhat vulnerable. Well, let's see if it's sharp. Let's just take a piece of paper here and see what it can do. Okay, don't know if that was clear, but it really cuts pretty easy. All right, so it's sharp. It is, at least it's sharp from the box. The steel has no markings on it. It's just plain steel on both sides. Just straightforward stainless steel. So like I said, the whole knife is 24 centimeters. The blade is 13.5 centimeters. What else can I say? The sheath is leather, it's beech wood, brass. Yeah, it's a remake of a Sumi Puku knife. And it cost, yeah, well, I paid 22 euros for it, but it comes anywhere between 18 and 22 euros. And I think in dollars that would mean somewhere between, I don't know, 20 and $25. So it's pretty affordable. And it's a German product, German-made product, I assume. It's a German company. I don't know if it's produced in Germany, but I assume that they do some kind of quality control. So I expect it to do pretty good, actually. It's relatively thick steel. It is certainly 2 millimeters, maybe 3. I mean, I should look that up. I'll put some specs at the end if I tested it outside. And the spine feels somewhat sharp, so I'll try to do a fire steel as well. All right, so let's do a quick outside cutting test with some fire steel things and just see how it performs. Okay, so we're outside, and with the Finner messer or the Finn knife, from Mill-tec, and it's a scanty grind, so it's probably a bushcraft knife, and so we should test it if that is what it can do. So just a piece of wood we just took from dead wood, and we can make maybe a tent stake. Let's see how that goes. All right, pretty smooth. Maybe a notch. See if that is. The knife is a bit big for finer work, but it does work. All right, now we know it's sharp, and we will see how long there is some edge retention. So there's a tent stake, pretty good. We can do some light batoning and do a feather stick maybe. Let's see if that is doable. It's a stick tang, so normally I would not baton with this, but you know, a small branch like this should not be a problem. I could even do this with a Mora knife. All right, let's see if it can. If it can feather stick. Oh, well, I need a little bit of practice. Okay, well, not the prettiest work, but it does the job. Can make some fine shapings. All right. Well, I guess with a little bit of practice you could make a decent feather stick with this. So, all right, not too bad. So what else can we do? We can do maybe some cutting of some camping stuff that you may use on a daily basis. Okay, can I have an apple? Okay, an apple. Let's see if it can, how that would feel. Now this is, whoa, it's a 3mm thick knife, and that means that it will be splitting instead of cutting, but you know, let's just see if, yeah, all right, it's not the most comfortable, but hey, not bad. Onion. All right, an onion.
De appel heeft op het grond gelegen.
Okay. Say you make sort of a stew.
Oh, ik ruik hem nu al.
You want some smaller pieces? Well, okay, so it won't win any prizes for fine work, but it's doable. Some lanyard. All right, let's say you have some rope you want to cut. Oh wow, that was very smooth. Maybe double. Well, very easy. 4. Okay, that was really smooth. All right, some tie wraps maybe. Yeah.
Inderdaad gooien.
Tie wrap. Oh well, too easy. No problem there. Maybe something like so. It just snaps. Okay, all right, this we need to keep separate. We don't want any plastic here in the environment. What do I have left? The fire starter. Don't throw it, just give it to me. Okay, all right, so here's a fire steel, and let's just see if it throws sparks.
It does.
Yeah, definitely it does. All right, let's see.
It's okay, I guess.
Oops. It is okay. My fire steel isn't actually. All right. Oh yeah, this throws pretty good sparks. All right, so the fire steel, it does great. So what we're gonna do now, still filming?
Yeah.
What we're gonna do now is we're gonna do a lot of cuts, maybe like 100 or so. Right, so that is some Cutting, 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 cutting. All right.
70 precies.
70. All right. Not bad.
Whoa. Oh my gosh.
Unbelievable. It is still razor sharp, almost as sharp as we took it from the bottom. The Finn mess from Mill-tec, $20 approximately, with a Scandi grind, and I would say a pretty backup bushcraft knife. Okay, so we were outside doing some cutting and some testing, and afterwards my kids played on with this knife a little more, also did some cutting, etc. And I must say the blade held up pretty good, but there is something else, a few things. I don't know if you can see it, but the handle actually is a little bit offset. There is a bit of a play here. You can, I don't know if you can hear it wiggle. So there's a little bit of a wiggle there and a little bit of an offset, so it's down a little bit compared to how it was supposed to be. So there's a little bit of play there, only with the ring. So the handle itself is still solid, but still. And the sheath, something I also needed to mention, is that it has no retention whatsoever. I mean, it just falls out like simple. Yeah, you don't have to do much. Now, I don't know if that is something that is just with this knife. Maybe I have something like a Monday morning version. Okay, so is there a place for a budget bushcraft knife? Well, for $20 approximately, you get a pretty good steel, pretty good knife that you can definitely use as sort of a bushcraft knife. Would I trust this on a long trip? Probably not, and that's because the handle is, to me now, a bit of a liability. Apparently there is a little bit of space here with the stick tang so that this can move around a little bit. I don't know what the reason is, but I don't know. So a little bit of doubt there. Beyond that, it held up pretty good even after a little bit of abuse from my children, and so for the price, I think it's a reasonable knife. It has some issues, some quality issues, but still not bad for $20, I would say. Alright, thanks for watching. I will put up some pros and cons and some specs at the end, and see you next time.